Custom Garage.
Okay, so I spent the day grinding and welding and grinding and welding. And here we are. The back piece is welded on. Everything's checks out square and level and straight. And now the back's done. So next we'll continue moving forward. We'll get the braces off the sides, get that plate off. I'm gonna take this thing off the jig now, flip it over, make sure I get everything done on the bottom that needs to get done. I'd like to get the suspension back on it so that I can cut it, because it's gonna get cut again, probably right about here. And here's a nice straight spot so I can weld a piece in here. I think it's only about 8 inches so that it's long enough to fit the Jetta. So that's the plan. We'll get all these things cleaned up and keep moving forwards. All right, so we're ready to take the frame off the jig. I'm gonna take off the bolts. There's a total of 8. I'm gonna take all of these off. And then I got my engine hoist strapped across the center here. I use a cinder block in the back to balance it, just so that it will be where I want it to be. As far as picking it up, hopefully that's gonna work. We're gonna unbolt it and then pick it up off the jig, slide the jig out of here. And I'm gonna flip it over and put it on a cart so I can get the bottom, all these bolts all cleaned up and get things off. And replace all the rusted nuts and bolts with new ones. Okay, so from here, here's the bottom of the frame. Obviously got 2 bolts here, got to come out. That's where another rubber bumper goes. These I'm going to leave on only for the measurement purposes. So when I lengthen the frame, I make sure it's even and level on both sides. I'll take the bushings out. You can see these rusted through. So these need to get replaced. So we're going to cut these out. I got a patch to put in here, an extra plate just to strengthen that up. I'm gonna try to reuse this on my other Jeep. I have a different mount to put on here. We gotta repair some of these. Strengthen that up a little bit. Let's probably put a new one on there. Got some welding to do there. We got welding to do on the bottom of the frame here. Same thing on this side. Got to weld the bottom here. Replace these. Same thing here. Rusted. Just spinning freely in there. Cut this one out. We can leave that perch just for measurement purposes. I gotta cut this off. I got some repair to do underneath here. Say overall the front's not too bad. We just gotta get a little bit of this thing done. We'll get these bolts out and put new ones in. I'll probably just cut a square, put a new nut in the back of it, and put it welded back in. So overall, it's not bad. I'm glad it's back upside down now. Now we can finish this thing off. Hopefully this week, get it on its wheels. And then we'll cut it. Like I said, I'm gonna cut it just in front of the shocks here where it's straight and lengthen it whatever it needs to fit underneath that Jetta. Okay, we got these rails, these to cut off. So let's fix this stuff apart and see what's gonna entail to get it back together. Okay, so this bolt is rounded and it wiggled a little but didn't want to come out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna weld a nut right on top of it. And then I'll take it off that way. There you go. It's out. Next we'll get this out. Okay guys, so I got all the bolts off of this. Thing does not move. Well, surprise, surprise. Someone welded it. They welded it all the way, 3 spots on both sides. So I'm gonna have to cut the welds loose to get this panel off. So that's this half done. Let's get on the other side. Okay, so the right side frame rail, this hole's not bad, nor is that one. This one had a little bit of rust on it. So what we're gonna do is just gonna cut squares out of this. I'm gonna cut a square out, put a nut on the back and then weld that in, and I'll take care of these 3 holes. So we still have this to fix here. I was able to get the bolts out of here. I'm gonna try to get the bolts out of that one too. This one here, it's rotted all the way along. So I'm gonna cut it from probably here somewhere and replace the whole piece all the way down. And I used the measurements from that side to make these holes so they all line up. I do have a little bit of a hole here, but probably take measurements from the holes back here. So we'll take the measurement from here to the hole, and then we'll measure each one going down, or make a template from that side and put it on here and make it work. So that's what we're gonna clean up all this old weld, get all that off, and it'll be in business. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. Okay, so I cut a plate, made it fit the rail, marked out where the holes go. Those are the holes on the transmission mount. And we're gonna drill those. And then we're gonna weld nuts on the back side so we can bolt the transmission mount back on. Okay, so voice a little off today. Okay, so we drilled the 3 holes in this side. I got the nut here. I'm gonna weld the nut in the back of all 3 of these holes. Then we're gonna weld this plate back onto the frame. Okay, so we welded the panel on. I thought I videoed it, but I guess not. Anyway, oops, there you go. It's got a hole. Lines up. I'm going to repair this plate on the outside. And there it is in that hole. So everything here lines up good on this side. We're going to weld this side up, and then we're going to get on the other side. Okay, we're on the bottom of the left side of the frame. I had a little patch put in right here. On this side, the inserts for the bolts were pulled through the frame, so I cut the frame out, put a patch in here with a nut, and here, and here. We still got to weld up the bottom of this frame here that we extended with the hole. Same on that side. I got to weld the bottom of the bar going across on both sides here. And I got to weld the bottom of these. We're going to do that next. And then we should be done with all the framework. I should be able to flip this thing back over and start putting wheels on it. Okay, so we got the welding done today. Well, my camera charged. I was able to weld this, grind it down, dress up the welds. There's the holes for the tranny mount. Welded up the back of the rear frame. Welded that, welded the holes where the sleeves went in. So everything is welded. Still to left to repair is these brackets on both sides. I got just a little work on them. Then we're gonna flip this thing over and get the wheels on it. So we're moving right along. Once we get the wheels on it, we can stretch it out to fit the Jetta and then do the finished welding and get it painted. So it's progress every day, a little bit more. Okay, so it's over. I put the leaf springs on. I'm gonna grab the front end and the rear end and disassemble them so I can get them on here. And today's goal will be to have this rolling chassis. So we'll see how far we can get on it. Okay, so put some tires on the rear axle, put some go jacks under it. Makes it an easy one-man job now. Gotta take the leaf springs off it, and we'll be good to go. Everything right now is just being test fit, so I'm not worried about it being cleaned up yet. Once we get everything fit and everything looking like I want it to, we'll take it back apart and clean it up. Okay, so we got the rear end in place. Got new U-bolts on that side. I'm gonna put them on the other side. Then we're going to get this thing on its wheels. I'm using the hoist to hold the back up right now while we get things together. And once we get done with the back, we'll move on to the front. Okay, we're going to lift the front of the frame up with the hoist high enough that I can slide the front end underneath. Those are smaller tires. I got to mount some bigger tires tomorrow. These are 33s in the back. So that's what's going to go on this. So we're just going to jack it up for now and get the make so the leaf springs will fit. I'm going to disconnect the front so it hangs. All right, leaf springs are in, rear end's kind of in place. Jack it up now, so the leaf springs hit the front end. Okay, so she's in place. Just gotta get the bolts and tighten it up. The front suspension, there's two different size U-bolts. There's narrow ones and wider ones. The narrow ones go on the outside. The wider ones go on the inside. And same on both sides. A wide one and a narrow one. Let's see, the sway bar's in the way. Okay, we're gonna get some nuts for those and we'll put that front end together. Okay, so this week we got the frame repaired. Got it on its wheels now. Everything's ready to go. We're ready to put it on the Jetta. So we're gonna roll the frame over to the other bay. We'll take the Mustang out and put that where the frame was. Get that Jetta body mounted up, hopefully next video on top of that frame. And then we'll move forward on getting the Jetta ready for paint. So it's gonna come along pretty quick here, and I'm not sure yet as far as how long it's gonna take to get the motor and all that stuff in there, but we're gonna get the body done. We're gonna get everything hooked up and ready to go, hopefully before it gets cold out. New subscribers, thank you very much. Old subscribers that'll keep watching you, I really appreciate it. Hit that like, subscribe, notifications, leave a comment, share with your friends. It all helps the channel. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great week. Thank you very much.